Hey guys, welcome to another video. In today's video we're going to be looking at submarines, the way they've been implemented, what I think of them, how I like them, how I'd like to see them change, and what I predict for the future of submarines in World of Warships. Sit back and enjoy. So first things first, the way that they have implemented the token system, how you acquire your submarines, and the rewards surrounding it if you don't get a submarine. Personally, I really like this RNG nature of it. It allows the system to not be over flooded, if you like, with the sheer amount of people that want to play submarines. It allows a breakup, it allows the mode to be used and utilized correctly. It allows data to be collected, and it allows you to test out both sides of the depth charges and the new changes that are made to cruisers and destroyers, as well as if you are lucky enough to get the sub early on, to see how subs actually work. It's a really smart way of implementing this for this mode. Whether they're going to do that again next time or whether it's just going to be here's a load of subs in the tech tree, who actually knows. The only thing that I don't really like about this system is the other rewards themselves, i.e. all you get is 500 coal if you don't get the submarines. Personally, I would have liked to see it where it either was different things or different varying amounts of coal. I'm not a huge fan of just 500 straight up. I feel it could either been more or just different amounts. Or some signals, or some camo, or anything, really. I'm never going to turn my nose up at free coal, but it does kind of feel a bit underwhelming when you're after the 3 submarines. And one of the things that I've heard from the community in the last couple of days whilst been playing this is that why is it coal and why am I getting it instead of the submarines and all this. And I don't think they would have had that if there would have been different rewards. It wouldn't have had to be a lot. I'm not asking for the world, but a bit of variety is the spice of life. It gives people a reason to play outside of just getting the submarines. The submarines are the end goal, and I understand that that's why, they're desirable, but give people a reason to actually want to continue going for it to get the submarines, especially since submarines are on loan. Outside of that, though, really like the system for it. It, again, like I say, stops the system getting overloaded, stops just nothing but submarines being played. It's a good way of slowing it down and allowing it to kind of progress at a natural level to see and allow everybody to get the chance to see if they actually like the submarines or not. As well as being able to collect data on their end to see if there's any balancing changes that may or may not need to be taken. They can do that much easier if there isn't a massive server overload where all the data gets skewed because it's just bots playing the destroyers, the cruisers, the battleships, and the carriers, if everybody's on and playing submarines. So yeah, thumbs up for me on that one. Next, I want to look at the submarines themselves. We got 3 submarines. We got a American, a Soviet, and a German. We got Charles Lawford for the commander for the Charlotte. We got Matevy Beletsky, and I'm going to apologize here and profusely to anybody watching as I completely cock up any pronunciations. I don't know why I tried, but we're going with it. As a commander for the Soviet S1. And then for the U-69, we got Adalbert Wenzel. Each commander came with 19 skill points. I have tried to do the skill points in different ways for each commander to see how they act differently. I thought it would be the fairest way possible of doing that. And yeah, on the whole, I think they look stunning. They've done a really good job at the modelling on each of these submarines. They are very well done indeed. I was a bit disappointed to see that they didn't have any externals, but again, it's sort of like a beta test, if you like. It's a final testing stage, in my opinion, of balancing, so I get that they don't really have any externals just yet, and obviously if you're underwater, you don't really need camouflage, but it would be interesting to see if they're going to implement anything like that that's similar but different, a way of having signals on it, or something to earn some more experience when they come out, or if they're just going to have the signals on the flag as normal, which wouldn't really make any sense. It'd be interesting to see if they do that. But again, on the whole, they look incredible. They've all got different features. They have different abilities, different consumables, if you like. So the American comes with a turbo boost, the maximum depth, a repair, torpedoes, and the sonar. The S1 comes with all of that, but with a heal. And the German U69 comes with a hydroacoustic search. So they've all got different attributes. They all have different HP values and stuff. I think so far the Russian is my favorite. I like the fact that it's got a heal. You don't really need the speed boost, and the hydroacoustic search when you're underwater, I don't know whether it does, but it kind of felt to me that you were giving away your position by searching. I know that's probably not the case, but that's how it felt a lot of the time. Whereas the heal, if you can get away with a scathing blow, you can heal up a little bit, and it gives you a bit more versatility. So for me, the S1 is definitely my favorite so far. So how do they actually perform in mission? As you can see here, we've got different controls. You can ascend with F, you can dive with C. You hit your sonar to be able to ping other ships to allow your torpedoes to home. And then the unique feature that I really kind of like is the battery charge, which in order to allow it to do the sonar and other such things, you need to have battery charge. To regen your battery, you have to either slow down to a quarter speed or come up to the surface. It allows you to micromanage what you're doing a little bit more. At the same time, you are not completely submerged all the time. You can't have that freedom. That would be very overpowered and very broken. So in we go. We're going to see. You can do 2 different ranges of your sonar, which is nice and interesting because it allows for a bit more of a precision kind of hit. You have a speed and destroyers that apparently don't know where they're going or what they're doing. You have a top speed of around 23, 24 knots when you're on completely on the surface, and the further you go down underwater, the slower you get. Which is why I guess that the engine boost is kind of useful on the American, but not hugely so. So we're going to dive underwater and see what happens. Now, as you can see, your sonar pulse, which is automatic, gives you a lay of the land. And what I found was most useful for me was to fire off my torpedo and then use sonar. I don't know whether this was how they intended it to be, but for me, this was how I found it most useful. Because it would give me a bit more time before being detected. If you ping first, then fire your torpedoes, you can find that you get detected very easily and are shot out the water. So for me, I would shoot, ping, and then shoot again. The reason why that is, if you can get your timing right, by the time the ping comes into effect, the torpedoes have already started to hone in and they're close enough so it doesn't take as long for them to act. Otherwise, what you can end up doing is you ping first, you'll fire your torpedoes, and your target will have already moved, they won't go right, and you've given away your position. Now, from what I can see, 30 meters is around the normal operating depth. You can go higher or lower. If you go lower, it's generally dependent on your submarine of how low you can actually go. We're going to zoom in, and like I said, we're going to fire off a couple of these, and then we're going to go for a ping. like so. Again, you got to lead in and see what happens. But hopefully, if we can get a second shot off here. That's missed it completely. I am awful. Looks like he's slowed down quite a lot. But it does look like my torpedoes are homing in on him. There we go. Second target hit. Whether it's soon enough or not, I don't know. No, it wasn't. So it does induce quite a fair amount of difficulty because you only get a certain amount of time, and it looks like that was a complete cock up by them. It looks like they rammed each other, so you won't get to see how they work. But yeah, me being bad aside, you can see how it works. So if I go onto one now, you'll see that I'm actually out of power. So I slow down to a quarter speed, and when I actually finally start to slow down, you'll see how my power gauge starts to go up. It's usually around 20, 21, 22 power before you can do a sonar ping. Any less than that and it will be red and you won't be able to. It is also worth noting that when you're under the water, it is very, very difficult for you to move quickly. Even at full speed underwater, it's still a very slow turn, whereas you'll notice when you go up onto the surface of the water, your maneuverability becomes quite nifty, actually. It's quite cool. So on your left-hand side, you will see also a power bar as well as a health bar, which is a nice little visual indicator. And then you've got this ASW zone, which you need to not be in, which means that there are ships that are about to do depth charges and really ruin your day. So it's worthwhile getting out of there. It is also worth noting that when you go full speed, you will start to lose power as well. So it's a nice little micromanagement object, if you like. I do also love that you actually get to see the ships and the submarines sink when you're underwater. It's a really, really nice graphical feature that they didn't really need to add. And I'm glad that they did. It adds to the immersion. I really, really like submarines. I think they're a lot of fun. I love the added challenge because my aim is fucking awful. So it's a nice little added effort, if you like, that I'm happy to partake in. I'm really excited to see where they go from here. And I hope that they take it very far indeed. Overall, really impressed. Where would I like to see subs go from here? I would be really interested to see if they're going to keep subs starting at tier 6 or whether they're going to introduce a new tech tree with smaller and different ones. And then obviously going to the larger ones when they come out. I'm very interested to see if they're going to include any other lines for this. And if they do, how they're going to implement them. And as you can see, I've done goofed here because I've sent all them out. And I have no sonar left. There we go. So I pinged the ship, but I pinged it way, 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 way too late. And I've now given away my position, which is a bad thing. So I'm going to keep trying to ding him. Which I can't do because I'm, again, bad at aiming. There we go, there's one. And then somebody else killed him. So never mind. So yeah, outside of me being bad, I hope you can at least see how this sort of works. And I'm sure you'll be able to decide whether you would be good at them or not. On the whole, once again, very, very impressed by them. I think they're a lot of fun. They look incredible. The models are fantastic. The underwater depths and the way that the water and stuff works has been really, really well done as well. On the whole, massive, massive thumbs up with me. Very excited as to see what is going to happen and how they're going to take it and where they're going to take it. And after their news piece that they released the other day stating about the big I-400s and the big aircraft carrier submarines, incredibly excited to see where they take it. I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. Don't laugh at my horrible score and lack of damage. Hope to see you next time. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Ciao, ciao, guys. Have a great evening.